الشوق يبقى في اغترابي فقير في الحياة من الصحاب.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Hello everyone and welcome back to another episode with Good Talks with Coumbs, where we talk about everything deen related and Islamic content. Thank you guys for tuning in to another episode. I know it's been a minute. I know it's been a while. A lot of things has happened over the last few weeks up until today. I started school and I've been trying to balance that with work and everything as well. And then I also lost my father. My father passed away not too long ago. I don't know if it has been a month yet. I haven't been keeping track. But I've been kind of dealing with that, which is why I kind of took a pause. But enough with the sad stuff. If you don't know who I am, I'm your host, Kuma Bakayoko, and today we're going to be diving into a topic that is as old as time, but still somehow manages to stress us out. Finding a husband. FYI, keep in mind, I am outside. I'm currently at the park. I kind of wanted to just tap into nature just a little bit. So if you hear any background noises or if any sounds like that or cars, it's because I'm outside and my mic is a really good mic, so it just picks up on everything. Anyway, so back to the topic, finding a husband. Yep, you heard it right. So today we're on a mission, right? We're on a mission to find Mr. Halal and not Mr. Right. Because let's be real, sisters, like we want more than just right. We want righteous. Alright? So okay. Before we even get to the nitty gritty, okay, let's set the scene, right? So like picture this. You're at your wedding, dressed to the nines in your best abaya or your best dressed, right? Dressed basically sipping on some sparkling date juice or spickling, just I don't know why I even said date juice, but just sipping on some good juice or whatever. And then suddenly let's just call her Khadija. Auntie Khadija comes over with her classic questions, right? Girl, like when are you getting married, right? And like in your head you're like, inshallah auntie, whenever my knight in shining armor comes in a tobe and shows up and to come save me. But bear in mind, right, finding that night isn't as easy as just a dua and done. There is a process and a journey that's filled with potential heartbreaks, right? And unfortunately, a few heartbreakers too. So the question is, how do we navigate this journey, right, without losing our sanity? Well, let's break it down together with a touch of humor, of course, because, I am a very goofy person and like to be lighthearted and serious at the same time. So the first important thing, right, is setting that intention, right? First things first, before you even think about swiping right on that marriage Muslim app or you're asking around in your circle, you've got to set the intention, right? This isn't about finding someone to binge watch Netflix with. This is about finding your partner in this life and the next, your partner in crime. Your partner in deen. Okay? So you kind of want to ask yourself, like, why do you want to get married? Is it because you're tired of Auntie Khadija's questions, or is it because you generally are ready to build a life with someone or grow together in faith? Remember, right, your intention sets the tone for the whole journey. So sisters, trust me, the last thing you want is to start this journey with a weak or misguided intention. Now here's the kicker. If you want to find a good Muslim man, you got to make sure that you're the kind of woman who's aligned with what you're seeking. Let me repeat that. You got to make sure you're the kind of woman who's aligned with what you're seeking. So if you're looking for a man that's deep within his faith, that's deep within his deen, he goes to the mosque, he prays the Juma prayers, right? And that's the kind of man that you're looking for. You have to first pause, look at yourself, and ask yourself, am I all those things? Am I all those requirements that I'm looking for in a man? Am I even doing those things? And then go from there. So it's kind of like trying to attract a butterfly while running around with a net. right? Sometimes you just need to become the flower that naturally attracts the right kind of attention. But before you even get to aligning yourself, there's an even more critical question. How do you know if you're ready for marriage? Because, sisters, marriage isn't just about the wedding day or those Instagram worthy moments. This is a lifelong commitment that does require emotional, spiritual, and sometimes even financial readiness. So how do you know if you're ready? Let's break it down. Okay? Excuse me. Number one, right? You have to have a strong relationship with Allah, right? If your heart is anchored in your faith and you're consistently working on your relationship with Allah, that is a good sign that you're ready to bring someone else into your life, right? Remember, marriage is half of your deen, so your foundation in deen should be strong before you add that other half. So if your foundation at the moment is not where you think it needs to be, then right now you need to focus on what can I do to get to that point, right? What are some steps that can I take? What are some good habits that can I take to get to that point? Which is why you should, if you haven't already, listen to that previous episode of your nafs detox. Sometimes it's always good to get a nice little detox to your nafs and better align yourself with some good goals and some good habits as well. Number two, you want to make sure that you're emotionally mature. Being ready for marriage means that you are capable of handling conflicts with patience and wisdom. And then you also understand that marriage isn't always sunshines and rainbows, right? There will be challenges, right? And you'll need to be emotionally equipped to navigate them, right? So arguing is healthy, arguing is normal, but if you don't know how to argue properly or argue the right way, then that can lead to bigger problems later down the line. So being able to make sure that you're emotionally ready or in emotional maturity handles those type of conflicts and resolve them in the best ways possible, that is extremely important. Number three, you want to make sure that you're financially prepared. Now, I'm not saying you got to make sure that you're a billionaire or a millionaire or whatever the case may be. It just means that you have the basic level of financial stability, right? So that means, are you capable of managing your own expenses? Do you understand the financial responsibilities that come with marriage? These are things to consider, right? Now, I'm saying, yes, your husband is there to provide it for you as well, but us as women, it's always good to have our own thing going on and our own income flowing in as well, too. So being able to manage that and being able to use it in the right way, budget, etc., is extremely important. Number four, you understand the commitment. Marriage is a marathon, not a sprint. Okay? It requires commitment, it requires compromise, and it's a lot of hard work. Oh my God, it's a lot of hard work. If you're ready to, let's say, invest in someone else's happiness and well-being as much as your own, then you might just be ready for marriage, right? The biggest thing that I currently struggle with is going from being so independent and just I can do it on my own to being somehow dependent and relying on someone else or asking for help or, communicating, hey, I actually do need this or whatever the case may be. That is the main thing that I'm struggling with because I'm so independent and I'm always like, I can do it on my own or I don't need your help. Especially like say if I'm asking for help and you're not giving it to me right then and there, then I'm gonna be like, shoot, I'm gonna do it on my own. And if you're not gonna be able to do it for me, shoot, I don't need you anyway, whatever. So that's the biggest thing that I had to work on and I'm still currently working on. So if you're in that space, then that may be something you need to work on and to further help you find your partner. All right, number 5, you're ready to grow together. So marriage isn't always about finding someone, okay, who's already perfect. Like there's no such thing as perfect, okay? It's about finding someone who's willing to grow with you. So if you're excited about the idea of growing in your deen, your personal goals, and your life together, then that's a big indicator that you maybe are ready, right? Because then you understand the concept that, like, not everybody is perfect. Not everybody's going to be the person that you want them to be. But as long as you know that you're willing to grow with that person and willing to just work it out together and help each other grow, then maybe you are in a good space. So the biggest thing you want to ask yourself, right, is, am I actively working on my relationship with Allah? Your connection with Allah should be your first priority. When you focus on pleasing Allah, the right person will be drawn to you naturally, inshallah. Am I cultivating the qualities I'm seeking in a spouse? If you want someone who's kind, patient, and God-fearing, are you also working on those traits within yourself? It's all about, like I said, oh my God, it's an ant. Oh my God. Oh, it's a lot of bugs, and I'm stressing out. It's stressing me out. But are you also working on those traits within yourself, right? It's all about attracting the things that you like for yourself. So focus on self-improvement and let your actions reflect the values you want in a partner. Then you got to keep in mind, am I in the right environment to meet someone? Looking or finding Mr. Halal isn't going to happen if you're just sitting at home watching Islamic lectures on YouTube all day, which is not a bad thing. You got to get out there, join Islamic classes, attend community events, and then also just be active in your local masjid. Surround yourself with like-minded people, and you're more than likely to find someone who share those values. So, sisters, as you start on this journey, you have to remember to align yourself with qualities you seek in a spouse. Work on your relationship with Allah, invest in your personal growth, and put yourself in the right environments. Now, when you do this, you'll not only attract the right person, but you'll also be the right person for someone else. Okay? Now that brings me on to my next topic. Excuse me. Finder Mr. Halal. The do's, okay? We're going to do do's and don'ts, but we're going to start off with the do's. So, now that your attention is set, let's talk about the search. Think of it as a job interview, but way more nerve-wracking, because instead of asking about your 5-year plan, they might ask you about your 5-a-day prayer, that is. So, where do you start? Here are a few tips, okay? 1. Community involvement. So get involved in your local masjid, attend Islamic events, and yes, even those awkward family gatherings. You never know who might know someone who knows someone. Okay? Number 2, character over charm. Sisters, let me be real with you, right? Charm is nice, but character is golden, right? So look for someone who has a good manners, who's honest, and who treats people with kindness. As the Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, said, the best of you are those who are best to their wives. Okay? Period. Number 3, consult the surah and the Quran. The Quran and Sunnah. So before you go head over heels for that charming brother who plays the guitar or whatever the case may be, remember to check his deen. Does he pray? Is he mindful? Very demure, very cutesy. Alright? Of his responsibilities as a Muslim man. The Prophet, peace be upon him, said, choose a spouse based on the religious commitment. And trust me, sisters, this is the best advice you will ever get. On to the next topic. The red flags and things that should make you go, Alright. Let's get to the juicy part. Alright, the red flags. So these are things that should make you go and say, maybe this isn't the one. Or in some cases, sister, run. Number 1, if they're overly controlling. If he's more interested in controlling your every move than in your well-being, that is a red flag. Marriage is about partnership, not ownership. So if he's dictating what you wear and who you talk to or where you go before you even married, imagine what your life will be like after the nikah. Terrible. Stuff for the love. Maybe not terrible, but you get what I'm saying. Number 2, he's inconsistent with his deen. Now, if he's a Ramadan Muslim, only prays and fasts during Ramadan, this is a serious red flag. Right? No judgment whatsoever, but it is a red flag though. Your spiritual connection, it is crucial in your marriage. So you definitely need someone who's committed all year round, not just for 30 days. Okay? And first of all, keep in mind, if he's hitting you up on Instagram talking about some, oh, what's good with you? I'm trying to see what your vibe is. Babes, that is not somebody that's ready for marriage, ma'am. Before he even enters your Instagram DM or whatever the case may be, the proper way to enter a DM or a type of DM to look out for is, hey, sister, would you be open to getting to know each other for marriage? Boom. Now, that is a proper way to get some bun. And that's how you know this person is ready for marriage. Okay? Number 3, lack of respect. If he doesn't respect you, your family, or even other people in general, that's a big no. Respect is the foundation of any relationship, and without it, everything else falls apart. You hearing me? Number 4, gaslighting. If he makes you feel like you're always in the wrong or questions your sanity, it is time to back away. Yes, it's time to run for the hills. It's time to excuse yourself out the equation. Your marriage should be a source of peace, not confusion or stress. On to the next topic. Wisdom and du'as. So, let's add a little wit to our wisdom, right? Remember, sisters, if he's treating you like an option, he's not your obligation. And if he's ghosting you more than he's texting you, maybe it's time to let him go, inshallah. Make plenty of dua. Ask Allah for your guidance for a spouse who is good for your deen, dunya, and akhirah. And remember, no matter how many frogs you encounter along the way, your prince, or rather your pious partner, is out there. Trust the process, trust Allah, and keep your sense of humor intact. Because if you can't laugh at the situation now, you'll be crying about it later. Okay? So, that brings me to the end. So, sisters, finding a husband, like I said, is just not about looking for Mr. Perfect, but Mr. Perfect for you. So keep your standards high, keep your heart open and your eyes wide for those red flags. And remember that marriage is half of your deen, but that doesn't mean you should settle for less than what you deserve. Once again, thank you for tuning in with Good Talks with Coom. If you enjoyed this episode, make sure to share with your friends. Make sure to follow, stay tuned, subscribe to the podcast, and also leave a review. May Allah grant us all spouses, right? Or grant you guys all spouses that brings you closer to Him. And may your journey to finding Mr. Halal, may they be filled with wisdom, laughter, and a lot of dua. Until next time, Assalamu alaikum.
الشوق يبقى في اغتراب